umpire comes in and says, I will bounce. That's on the attacking side of the centre circle for St Kilda. It's Ford against Purser. Purser gets it down. Hawkins, though, puts the Bulldogs into attack. The kick half distance. Petraglia fists it on, but Foschini is there. Wallace goes down. Now, that was McGuinness. Foschini gets the hand pass away, but Foschini will get the free kick because after he got rid of the ball, he was scragged. So Silvio Foschini, no, it's going to Narkle. Well, there's a turn-up.
Well, perhaps a penalty down the ground. Narkle's kick's a beauty, but Purser takes an unopposed mark at centre-half back for the Bulldogs. Andrew Purser, long towards centre-half forward. Gamble punches the ball away. At the back is Crow, playing against one of his old sides, gives it to Jep. Jep breaks Cronin's tackle quite easily and kicks high to centre-half forward. At the back, Beasley flies high, but the crumbs hit the ground. Collins it is, relieves, kicks it out wide to the wing, and Peter-Budge takes the mark in front of his opponent, Peter Baxter. Poor kick by Peter-Budge, boundary line. And a throw in right on centre wing on the outer side of the ground. Neither side yet to score. We've played just 1 minute in the first quarter.
It'll be Ford, the front position over Purser, but Purser got over the back. But this is Coghlan breaking clear for St Kilda. Puts the Saints into attack to half forward. Oh, nearly the mark to Kellett. Picking up is Gotch. Gotch the hand pass back to Cronin. Cronin at the edge of the centre square. The high kick to full forward. But have a guess who's there? It's Hardy.
Well, Hardy takes a fairly simple mark. Kicks it to Kellett. Kellett against his old side. His kick's a poor one. Cunningham can't mark. Cronin boxing on with Wallace. Handball comes loose. Hawkins for Footscray. He's in trouble. Slips the handball to Neil Cordy. Neil Cordy gives it to Egan, and Egan strides clear and kicks it to centre-half forward. Beasley in front, punched away by Frawley. Gamble there. Footscray. Through comes Rance, but he's knocked away by Ford, and Ford for St Kilda kicks it to centre-half forward. Attempted mark there by St Kilda. They can't break clear. Now they're leading the race for the ball. Grant can't pick it up. Oh, tackled when he didn't have the football. St Kilda fans not happy. Ball goes clear to Burns. Burns in the forward pocket. Can't control it. And a boundary throw-in will take place 30 metres around from St Kilda's goal.
Well, the St Kilda fans very upset with that one, Ian. They felt there should have been a free kick to David Grant, but they're in the forward pocket, so a chance now for the Saints to score. Low, and it's Purser. Purser gets the tap down. This is Egan's clearing kick. The kick will be out of bounds on the full, or was it grabbed by Cunningham? No, it came off hand, so there'll be a throw-in between winger and half forward for St Kilda. Still no score.
Purser and Lowe. Lowe interferes with Purser, and it's a free kick to the big, tall Bulldog ruckman at half-back. Hawkins looking for the hand pass. Purser decides on a big torpedo towards centre wing. At the back, it's punched away. Crow can't get to it before the boundary line looms up, and it's a throw-in. It'll take place on centre wing. Very near the St Kilda players' race. 3 minutes into the first quarter, neither side yet to score.
Be Ford and Crow. Crow gets the tap down to Petraglia. Nice play then by Royal. No, Royal was running past as Rance tried to get it down to, but this is Cronin now. Cronin on the wing. A long kick up onto the half-forward line. Plenty of players there. Cordy takes the mark. No, he doesn't. Then he gets the hand pass away to Peter Baxter. Seemed to take an age, and Baxter, under a lot of pressure, kicks diagonally across the ground, and it's out of bounds. So St Kilda certainly applying the pressure to the Footscray defence.
Boundary throw in, half forward flank for St Kilda. Ball goes to Royal, can't break clear, gets the handball wide. Through comes Gotch. Gotch's quick kick goes to the opposite forward pocket. Kellett leads Grant. Kellett does well. Kicked off the ground by Kennedy. Over the boundary line for a throw in front of the scoreboard here at Moorabbin. The ground here is in magnificent condition for this game. A lot of criticism earlier on in the season for the standard of the Moorabbin Oval, but it's absolutely perfect. Handball comes wide. Gotch gives it across. Long kick to full forward. Punched away by the Footscray defence. Through comes Narkle. Looking for the free kick. Good umpiring. Hardy breaks clear and kicks it wide to half-back and finds Hawkins.
Hawkins has it half-back. A good play by Hardy in the opening minutes of this game. Petraglia gives him the lead. Foschini a little late. And Foschini giving Petraglia the rough treatment will now give away 15 metres. And Silvio, that was silly play. Play on as Petraglia kicks to half forward. Good play there by Ford to fist it away, but Steve McPherson comes out. The hand pass out for Brian Royal, under pressure from Collins. The kick into the pocket is out of bounds on the full, and Frawley will take the free kick.
Danny Frawley kicks it long to half back. Cronin, he's been very dominant early in this game, gets the handball across to half back where Whitty streams clear, kicks a wild ball, and Hardy takes the mark. Put down by Lowe some 2 seconds after he took the mark, but umpire Saville decides no penalty. Third kick to Hardy, gets past Lowe easily and kicks a beautiful drop punt to full forward at the back. No mark taken. St Kilda do well for McConville. Breaks clear and kicks it beautifully to Cunningham. Cunningham plays on. St Kilda doing well at centre half back. Jeff Cunningham kicks it long towards centre half forward. Gives Grant the chance. Through comes Kellett, punches the ball to ground. Streams away with the football, gives it to Jep. Jep goes wide to Wallace. Wallace for Footscray, round onto his right foot, kicks it into the forward pocket. Beasley in front. No one can mark. St Kilda strong in defence. Out comes Collins. His kick is smothered. Footscray go after the ball in desperation. Jeff Collins is there again for St Kilda. His scrambly kick eludes McGuinness, but McGuinness goes after it again. He's opposed by his number 11 for St Kilda, Burns, and a good tackle on by Burns awards him with a free kick at half back.
Burns goes for the short kick, looking there for McConville. No, that's Elphingston. Elphingston now, the hand pass into Cronin. Cronin moving the ball, they have to hurry, eventually gets the kick, and it's a beauty too. Right up to half forward, Neil Cordy is there, the fist of Kellett though, to Hardy. Hardy was grabbed by Coughlin. Cordy comes back, gets the hand pass to Purser, who'll feed it across to Jep. No, he lets it go for Wallace. Wallace in trouble, under pressure from Elphingston. Elphingston couldn't get to him, and Wallace is kicked to the half-forward line. Plenty of St Kilda players up, nobody down, as Collins tried to break clear. Now it's Cronin. Cronin at half-back. He's been one of St Kilda's consistent players in recent weeks, and Elphingston takes the mark, plays on. Nobody there, though. The hand pass was intended for Coughlin, but it wasn't a good one. McLean of Footscray, the hand pass to McGuinness. Now the Bulldogs looking a little better now as McGuinness slips over, but gains ground. It was to his advantage. Kicks up towards Beasley, but Frawley is playing him well, and eventually it will be St Kilda out of defence through Whitty. Whitty gets the hand pass to Fashini. Coming through now is Gamble. Gamble's kick low, the big fellow. No, he took his eyes off the ball. Peter-Budge the chance. Picks up now, he can give the hand pass across. And it's a chance for Grant to kick a goal. He runs right up, and there's the first score on the board. And it's a goal to David Grant. And some good play by the Saints. First score of the match. Well, a little bit of teamwork there from the Saints, Robbo.
Well, it took a while, Clark. Nearly 8 minutes into the first quarter for the first score, but St Kilda's persistence paid off. And true boot, David Grant kicks the first goal of the match. Ball back in the centre. Ford too far away. The crumbs go to Burns. Burns is kicked to half forward. Narkle, it's punched away. Through comes, looks like Jep. Jep kicks the ball, half forward. Fashini in front, takes a spectacular mark. The Italian stallion, Silvio Fashini, breaks clear at half back. Kicks it towards centre half forward. Good tap on by Lowe, gives Narkle a chance. He's opposed by Egan. Egan lacking match practice. Narkle does it well. Handball to Burns. Burns goes for goal with the left foot. Offline, behind to the Saints. St Kilda 1-1, lead the Bulldogs yet to score.
And it's a beautiful day for football. There's not a breath of breeze. The ground under controversy at the moment is in excellent condition as Kennedy kicks to Hawkins, in turn to McLean. McLean goes for a run round the outer side of the ground. Cronin is there to put pressure on him. The kick though to half. Oh, McConville, great mark. A one-hander at half back.
Peter McConville, ex-Carlton player, doing well at St Kilda in his first season, kicks it out wide. Elphinstone, another experienced player. The Saints will be looking for big effort from these players. Cronin can't control it. McLean can for Footscray, gets into the clear. balks and turns, trying to open up a chance for his Footscray teammates. Feeds it to McGuinness. McGuinness onto his left foot, kicks long towards centre half forward. Out in front, Rance can't mark. At the back, Gamble does well and recovers. Gets clear onto his right foot, kicks it towards the centre of the ground. High flyers wanted Purser at the back, but it's a good mark in front by Lowe. Gives it to Cunningham, who's running. Cunningham up high to full forward, punched away from Lockett, hits the ground. Here comes Grant. Grant's handball goes to Narkle. Narkle back over into the forward pocket. Peter-Budge. Grant, no, it's not. It's a quick snapshot from the forward pocket, and it's out of bounds on the full. That player wasn't Grant, it was
Lockett. Have to snap. And it's Kennedy now, last line of defence. A free kick. Hawkins, Burns, oh, Nelly the screamer, that one. That could have been mark of the day, but he didn't hold it long enough. Hardy, who has been his usual reliable self in defence. Oh, look at that, that's brilliant. But oh, nice smother then by Gotch. The hand pass caught forward unawares, and this will allow McGuinness through. Races away. McPherson to Jep. Now the Bulldogs moving the ball out of defence, looking for Beasley. Frawley's playing in close. Collins, the clearing kick will be marked by Crow. No, he can't quite get to it. The bounce eludes him. McGuinness backs up well. Beasley the chance now. No, good spoil again by Frawley. Elphingston's there to assist. The kick is wide. Hand pass from Peter-Budge was brilliant. Comes out to Cronin. To half forward for St Kilda. Burns had to beat two. Oh, Hardy, he's brilliant. Look at the kick, will find McPherson. And that was brilliantly done out of defence.
Yes, McPherson plays on quickly. His kick is a poor one. It's intercepted by Ford. Ford's tackled when he didn't have the ball by McGuinness. And the ex-Footscray blonde, playing in his first year at St Kilda, takes the free kick. Kicks it to the unmarked Gotch. Gotch, just from a standing start, kicks towards Burns. Jeps his opponent. Through comes Cordy. Cordy gets it out to Purser. Purser kicks it high towards centre half forward. It's a wobbly punt kick. 3 St Kilda players went up for it. Royal stayed down, picked up the crumbs. In the clear, Brian Royal. Handball over the top goes to McGuinness. McGuinness goes for goal bang. He looks all right. No, it's offline and a behind a Footscray. Their first score 11 minutes into the first quarter.
And it's St Kilda leading by 6 points. Beautiful kick by Gamble, a little bit of pushing and shoving from Hawkins on Cunningham, but within the rules, according to the umpire. Beautiful lead by Rance. And a lovely foot pass by Hawkins finds that player about 50 metres there. Now Cunningham's gone to sleep, and Hawkins has raced into the forward pocket, and there he is now, and Hawkins will mark. And Cunningham walked away from Hawkins then, had his back to the player, and Hawkins just ran into that pocket. Now he's got a chance to score. Slack play then by one of St Kilda's more experienced players. And there's the lead from Petraglia, and a beautiful foot pass from Hawkins finds that player. Well,
good heady football, Clark. Petraglia, a left footer, slightly closer, and has improved the angle for the Bulldogs. Quite remarkable. Petraglia doesn't let Hawkins down. Straight through the centre. First goal to the Bulldogs. Scores a level, 1-1 apiece at the 12.5-minute mark.
Yes, a lack of concentration then by St Kilda. I think this is one of their big problems down here, is that they do something nice and then have a little think about it, and meanwhile their opponents are running off. Scores level, and it's Ford getting the tap down. Royal runs at the ball, but it's eventually picked up by McLean, and McLean's kick finds Petraglia, the man that just kicked the Footscray goal a few moments ago. That was the Bulldogs' first play on as he goes around the mark. Burns chases him, but Petraglia's got too much pace, and a beautiful pass finds Stephen McPherson. And it's almost slow motion football. We're back to your days, Robbo.
Well, Steve McPherson had made position quite well there and broken clear of his defender, and he has a chance. He's about 45, 50 metres out. Fourth possession. He's offline. He's gone out of bounds on the full. Free kick to the St Kilda side. 14 minutes into the first quarter. Scores a level, 1-1 apiece. Alistair Ford for St Kilda. Kicks it towards half-back. In front, McPherson, punched away by Elphinston. McPherson dropping the ball, that was. Umpire calls play on. Cronin can't break clear. Royal off the ground, over the boundary line. Could have been on the full. May have been. Yes, a free kick to St Kilda at half-back. Whitty for the Saints. Tries to break clear, he's caught. Backing up as Ford. Umpire says, let it go, and Ford breaks clear and kicks it into the centre. Through comes Coghlan. Coghlan with his left foot. It's a good kick into the pocket, and Gotch has taken the mark. Plays on quickly, gives it to Lockett. Lockett a brilliant lead, way out in front of Kennedy, and Tony Lockett a chance to post St Kilda's second goal. He's about 40 metres out on a 45-degree angle, perhaps a little worse than 45 degrees, but a good big chance for Lockett to kick his first goal and the Saints' second.
Tony Lockett, oh, is it going to swing back? No, it's not. It just snuck through then for a behind. And, well, the distance was there, but the direction was well astray by Tony Lockett. So St Kilda now a point in front, 1-2-8 to Footscray 1-1-7 at the 16-minute mark of this first quarter. Kennedy gets the lead from Royal and kicks in that direction, but Lowe is there to try and spoil. Not a bad effort by Royal, nevertheless. But the ball comes out from Elphinston, eventually comes out to Cronin. Now, Kennedy is in front of Lockett. The boundary line is there, but Kennedy decides to run through strongly and turn defence into attack, and the mark has been taken by McLean. That was good play. McLean can now go for a run, and he's carrying the ball around that wing, and not one St Kilda player has made the attempt to go to him, and a beautiful pass finds Beasley. And it was all started by that dash in defence by Kennedy.
Well, Beasley perhaps a little too far out to score. He'd need a 75-metre kick. Goes for the big torpedo, but it wobbles up into the pocket. Punched away from Footscray forwards. Strong play by McConville as he makes sure it goes over the boundary line for a throw-in right against the behind post for the Bulldogs. St Kilda lead by 1 point. They're 1-2. Footscray 1-1. Punched away by Purser. Goes to Petraglia, who's caught with the football. Play on, says the umpire. A scramble of players and a ball up will take place about 25 metres out from the Footscray goal.
Footscray, a hoodoo ground for them. They haven't won here in the last 2 outings at Moorabbin. There's the bounce, and it's Crowe trying to do it all by himself, but it's McConville's relieving kick has been marked by Coghlan at half-back, the centre man. Typical St Kilda player, the blonde hair, Narkle in trouble. Chance for Petraglia, the opportunist, the hand pass to Royal, who couldn't quite trap it. He could have given it across there to McGuinness, but he has a shot for goal. And what's he done? It's through for a behind. And that makes the score even. 8 points apiece at the 19-minute mark of this first quarter.
Kick in to half-back, finds Collins. Rugged-looking ex-North Melbourne player, and Collins kicks quickly towards the centre. Burns takes a good mark under a lot of pressure, plays on quickly, goes after that football, handballs up to half-forward, Gamble, decides against a hand pass, kicks it long towards Lockett and Kennedy. Lockett in front, Kennedy punches it, and the ball over the back for a rush behind to the St Kilda side. And St Kilda go to the lead again at the 19-minute mark. They're 1-3-9, Footscray 1-2-8.
Kennedy gets the lead from McLean, but David Grant picks up that player. Kellett drops in short, but Kennedy towards McLean, off hands. Chance there for Jepp. Oh, Cunningham showing strength. Burns in trouble, but did that beautifully, did Greg Burns. Gets the lead from Lockett, and he's taken the mark. No, didn't hold it long enough, but he recovers well, screws the ball around. But it'll be either out of bounds on the full. Yes, it is. Out of bounds on the full. I was not going to say behind or out of bounds, but you saw the umpire there. And it's Hardy with the free kick.
Hardy for the Bulldogs. Very distinct with his long sleeves. Perhaps one of the only players on the ground with long sleeves. Kicks it to half-back. Punched away by Baxter. Goes to Burns, who's been prominent early. Burns' quick kick to full forward. Hardy's in the road for the Bulldogs. Kicks it quickly in towards the centre. A very tricky bounce goes over the players' heads. It's McConville and Fashini for St Kilda. Fashini kicks it over his left shoulder. Alistair Ford does well to control it. No, he doesn't. It's a very fickle bounce. Royal gives the hand pass to McGuinness. McGuinness under lots of pressure. Royal goes in after it again. Oh, he just nearly flattened McPherson. breaks clear. No, he doesn't. Good tackle by Fashini. And St Kilda are desperate in defence. Whitty slips the handball to Collins, and Collins relieves for the Saints and goes out towards the centre wing area. Half back for St Kilda. Elphinstone handballs it over the top. Goes to McConville. McConville's hand pass finds Narkle. Narkle's got plenty of space. 2 bounces. Runs up the half forward with a 3rd bounce. Good shepherding by St Kilda teammate in low. Narkle's kick up the full forward at the back. Kennedy takes the mark for Footscray. Right in the last line of defence. Rick Kennedy, the Footscray captain, plays on and feeds it out to Hawkins. Hawkins goes high at centre half back. Jep's made position. So is Egan, and Egan takes the mark on his chest, opposed by Cronin.
Egan, it's good to see him back in the Footscray side. Very courageous back pocket, playing half-back flank. The leaving kick. Kellett. Always in all sorts of trouble, but the tackle wasn't good. Neither was the handball intended for Jet because it went out of bounds on the foot. And the St Kilda fans loving the footy at the moment because their side's in front. Might be only by a point, but they're still in front. Throw in, it's Ford against Crow. Comes down to Fashini, not a very good kick. Cunningham leaves it for Narkle, who was grabbed. McGuinness, Hawkins. Wallace is waiting for it. One of Footscray's prime movers when they're playing well. Looks for Beasley. Frawley was there. Dropping back was McConville to lend Frawley a hand. The hand pass from him to Elphinstone. But Neil Cordy is there. Oh, he's very sure, Neil Cordy. Very athletic. Kicks out of defence. Steve McPherson, who seems to be giving his opponent a bath. He's getting a lot of latitude as McPherson kicks to half forward, and the mark has been taken by Purser. Or is that Crow? It's Crow. So Crow directly in front and would be about 40 metres out from goal. And Max Crow, of course, went from Essendon to St Kilda and to Footscray, so he should know this ground well. And I think he's put it through for a goal. He has. So Footscray have hit the front for the first time in this match at the 23.5-minute mark of the first quarter, and that's a goal to Max Crow. Well, Steve McPherson seems to be getting a lot of latitude from Whitty, who originally lined up on him. And at St Kilda defence, not all that tight, Ian.
Well, today's football says that those defenders have got to be very much attacking players, and they get caught out ever so quickly. Clark, if they haven't done the right thing down the ground. Bounce of the ball, Purser. Coghlan gets the crumbs, gives it to Burns. Burns gets into the clear to give his right foot the chance to boot it forward, up to full forward. Lockett, Narkle comes through strongly. He's opposed by Kennedy. Kennedy with a bit of brute strength. Backed up by Hardy. Well done, Brad Hardy. Breaks clear at half back and kicks it towards the centre wing area. Fashini can't mark with one hand. Silvio tapped on by Petraglia. Cunningham taps it out to Fashini, and Fashini kicks into the centre. It's over Burns' head. Burns crashes his way through with determination and kicks it into the forward pocket where Lockett takes the mark. Opposed by Rick Kennedy, two of the strong men of VFL football. Fourth kick coming up for Tony Lockett. Plays on, finds someone in the centre, but it's a poor kick, and Baxter comes in for Footscray and takes the mark in the last line of defence, gives it to Hardy. Hardy likes to run with the football, and he does so. He even balks his own teammate in McGuinness. Kicks it out to half back, in front. No mark taken by Peter-Budge. Out there, Neil Cordy. Peter-Budge does well, taps it on. Elphinstone, hand pass goes to Burns. Burns has had a lot of possessions in the first 20 minutes. It's his 8th kick, and he finds Coghlan at centre half forward for St Kilda.
Coghlan, who looks a bit like Burns, and also Cunningham, as we said before, that blonde, chunky style. Oh, the kick's not a good low trajectory though. The mark, oh, beautifully done by Grant. And he took some screamers in the game against Geelong last Saturday. He's a good foil for Tony Lockett, because when Lockett's covered, the opposition defence sometimes forget the abilities of the former Tasmanian to take the mark. And Grant comes in and he kicks a goal. And it's St Kilda back in front by a point at the 24.5-minute mark of the first quarter.
David Grant. 2 goals against his name. 25 minutes gone in the first quarter. St Kilda lead by 1 point. Excellent conditions here at Moorabbin, as you can see. The much maligned centre square area of the Moorabbin football ground. Ford and Purser. Purser gets the tap down. Goes after it again. Kicks it with the left foot towards the half-forward flank area. Petraglia. It's roved well by Ford. Ford comes out towards the centre wing area. Cunningham's got plenty of space. Should get a kick, should get anything, because he had 15 metres to spare on Hawkins. Kicks it high to half-forward. Mark missed by Cordy. Narkle goes after it. Egan there for Footscray, and umpire Saville decides on a bounce. Half-forward flank for St Kilda, where the scoreboard shows the Saints by 1 point at the 26-minute mark.
Play about 55 metres out from St Kilda's goal. Lowe gets the tap down. Cronin tries to do too much. Lowe paddles the ball out wide. But, Jep comes out of it in defence. That was good play. Jep's clearing kick around the grandstand wing. And McConville, with some solid play, forces the ball over the boundary line for a throw-in. Play on the member side wing here at Moorabbin. Max Crowe and Alistair Ford, the 2 big fellows. Burns tries to go over the top. Kicked out of the pack by Steve McPherson. Royal, nice bump though by Collins. McConville though couldn't get rid of the ball because he was under pressure from Crowe. We're into the time on period in the first quarter, and it's St Kilda leading by 1 point, 15-14. And it's Ford. Crowe gets the tap down. Cronin couldn't trap it. Hawkins has it, and there'll be a bounce.
Well, some sloppy football in the last minute or minute and a half. Scoreboard shows St Kilda leading by 1 point. 26.5 minutes gone in the first quarter. Ball up on centre wing, slightly favouring Footscray's end. McConville can't get his foot to the ball. Throwing himself on it was Hawkins. He can't break clear, and umpire Rich is on the spot. Decides on a bounce. The football, or the play, has been in this area for the last 90 seconds. There's the siren to end the first quarter, and St Kilda lead by 1 point. Lots of highlights. Huh?
Yeah, there were some actually. I'll run through them. I've got to. Right, here we go then. Start now of the second quarter with St Kilda leading by 1 point. And the bounce will favour Purser. McPherson, no, couldn't get rid of it because there's pressure from Narkle. Good play by Narkle out of the centre, and the Saints are away. Hardy misses it, got the fickle bounce. Chance now for Egan. Gotch comes through, but Egan holds his ground well. Gets the hand pass out to Cordy, who makes a mistake. Chance now for Peter-Budge. He's brought down by McLean. Gets the hand pass out in the open. Lockett's back to Gotch, and Gotch snaps for goal and has put it through. No, he hasn't. It's only a bar. Well, a comedy of errors there on the St Kilda forward line.
Well, you wouldn't expect Gotch to hook the ball further than necessary in that situation, but he did. And St Kilda by 2 points. Kennedy, the Footscray skipper, kicks it high to half back. Neil Cordy couldn't control it, and the ball over the back of the pack. Untouched, according to the boundary umpire, from a kick in. Be careful low, you'll get the ball taken away from you, which he has. Stupid play. Jep watches it bounce, looking for 15 metres, but umpire Rich looks as though he's in complete control down there, and Jep gets Footscray further out of trouble, kicks it towards centre wing. A good mark from behind by Crowe, plays on and kicks it towards centre half forward. Players there, McGuinness. Against him is Collins, brought to the ground. St Kilda, Whitty, half-back flank, kicks it into the centre. McConville caught with a football, good tackle Hawkins. Ford over the top of Hawkins, and a ball up will take place between the centre of the ground at centre half forward, slightly favouring the Footscray side.
Crowe in ruck against Ford, negative. Nobody can get much advantage out of that. Fashini gets it back towards Cronin, who's fiddling around a little bit there. can't handle the ball surely. In fact, he's been penalised, and Steve McPherson will get the resultant free kick to put the Bulldogs into attack, and he puts it up high. It's for the leading Beasley, and Beasley marks just that metre or so in front of Frawley, but McPherson knew exactly what he was going to do, and Beasley read that kick beautifully also. So some good understanding between Steve McPherson and Beasley. In fact, both full forwards, Lockett and Beasley, have been well held by their respective fullbacks in Rick Kennedy and Danny Frawley. But this is Beasley now as he runs in about 45 metres out from goal on a slight angle. Goal umpire goes back and has a look, and it's through. And that's Beasley's first goal of the match. And Footscray hit the front by 4 points. It's been very interesting, the battles between the respective full forwards and full backs, Robbo, with the full backs on top at the moment.
Yeah, he's doing well, Frawley and Kennedy, for the St Kilda and Footscray sides. Both big guns. Lockett yet to kick a goal. Beasley just kicked his first. Back in the centre, Ford gets the tap out. Hardy picks up the crumbs in the centre of the ground. Sure ball handling by Hardy, gets the hand pass to Jep. Jep, you're caught with the football, not penalised. Play on, says the umpire. Hardy throws himself on the ground. Comes out to Cronin. Cronin kicks quickly, but the mark is taken by Egan for Footscray at half-back. He handballs across to Neil Cordy. He breaks the tackle and goes through the wing area and kicks long towards centre-half forward, where the mark's taken by Steve McPherson. Inside the 50-metre line, just kicks it quickly into the forward pocket. Royals made good position, takes a good mark in front of Gotch and Brian Royal. Difficult angle, but only 35 metres out. It's his 8th possession, and we've played 5 minutes in the second quarter. Footscray leading by 4 points. Royal a chance to kick the Bulldogs' 4th goal.
Well, he goes back to Hardy. Hardy's in a better position.
That's where McPherson kicked it from, Clark, to Royal. They've gained, what, about 3 metres?
Well, Royal must reckon Brad's a more reliable kick, and he's a back man. So we'll see what Hardy can do with this one. The Brownlow medalist runs in over the 50-metre circle. The kick is offline. In fact, a little bit of pushing and shoving. Eventually, it's Ford's kick off the last line of defence. Cronin can't pick it up. McLean can, but he was out when he handballed to Petraglia. And there'll be a throw-in on the left half-forward flank for the Bulldogs. And they're leading by 4 points at the 6-minute mark of the second quarter.
Throw in. Footscray half-forward flank area. Steve McPherson kicks off the ground. McConville intercepts by Elphinston. Gotch kicks it high towards the wing. Purser's made good position and takes the mark, more or less unattended. Umpire Saville now calls play on. Purser goes for the torpedo. Up to half-forward, Crow can't mark. It's Gotch, roving well, kicks it towards the centre of the ground where Wallace takes the mark for the Bulldogs. Plays on quickly, kicks it towards half-forward flank on the other side of the ground. Cronin, a little bit tentative, should have taken the mark. Petraglia picks the crumbs up, goes for goal, but Frawley, good judgment. Danny Frawley takes the mark behind Beasley, right in the full-back position. Frawley plays on, comes out of the half-back line. Purser comes in and marks in front of Robert Elphinstone. Andrew Purser goes in short towards Royal, and Royal, with better judgment than Cronin's, taken the mark about 35 metres out on a very slight angle. Footscray starting to warm to the task.
Well, they've got that lead now, and I think Footscray could be a confident side. I think once they get in front, they're fairly hard to run down, but because they're conscious of the fact that they haven't won here for 2 years, and oh, that's hit the post, that shot from Brian Royal. They won't do his confidence any good, but I'm sure that the little fellow rated last year as the best rover in the competition will get onto his game. He's starting to lift his straps a bit. This is McConville on the outer side of the ground. A little slow there trying to get to him. Burns runs at the ball. Egan is there, so too is Narkle, but the boundary line a little too close, and there'll be a throw in between the wing and half forward for St Kilda. St Kilda trailing by 4 points.
Purser and Ford done most of the ruck work for their respective sides so far in this match. Kick down towards centre half forward. No mark taken. Through comes Royal. Good kick towards full forward Beasley. Well tackled by Frawley. McGuinness picks up the crumbs, goes goalwards. Quick kick by his right, with his right foot, rolls through for a goal. Well, I think any spin bowler playing cricket would have been proud of that, because it went straight through those two players' legs and right between the goals for a goal to St Kilda, to Footscray.
Yes, well, they're getting away now, Footscray. They're playing with more purpose. They're first to the ball. And although the St Kilda fans are saying they're not getting the better of the umpire's decisions, that's because the Footscray side are going in first. Ford gets the tap down, but Royal, who's really playing well now, breaks clear out of the centre. A beautiful kick. Beasley, well done. Frawley. Petraglia, though, rolling it, roving well, shoots for goal and has put it through. And Footscray on fire in the early part of this second quarter, and that's Petraglia's second goal. Gee, rove that well. Almost read what Frawley was going to do, that he was going to fist that ball away from Beasley, and he came in and at the drop of the ball picked it up and put it through for a magnificent goal. And it's Footscray now getting away from St Kilda.
Umpire Rich. Play started again. Ford gets the tap out, goes towards McLean for the Bulldogs, gets the handball back to Cordy. Cordy's left foot kick is high. Fashini in position, can't mark. McPherson, crumbs are picked up by Cronin. He can't break clear. Comes wide to Gamble. Gamble slips the handball to Ford, and Ford puts St Kilda into attack up to half forward. Oh, good mark by Neil Cordy. Too tall, too strong, and too fierce for younger little Bradley Gotch. And Neil Cordy takes the mark for Footscray at half back. Gives the handball to Hardy. Hardy sees Egan on his own out on centre wing. Egan plays on quickly, kicks it towards centre half forward. In front, but it's a good mark taken by Ford for St Kilda. Alistair Ford, number 31, feeds the handball to McConville. McConville goes with a poor left foot kick out towards centre wing. Burns is there, so is Neil Cordy. Neil Cordy does it well to get in front. He's tackled by Burns, gets the handball away to Jepp. Jepp picks up the crumbs and goes towards centre half forward. No one can take the mark. Ford there, so is Coghlan, but the crumbs are picked up. Footscray Rovers playing well. Petraglia again into the forward pocket. The bounce eludes Collins. Oh, here's Royal's chance. Beasley's backed him up well. Goes into an open goal and hits the post. No, he doesn't. He's kicked the goal.
Well, the two St Kilda defenders there, Collins and Frawley, they're having a chat now in the goal areas. Frawley taps Collins on the back and says, well, let's get on with the game, but they made that mistake, and Royal was absolutely brilliant to take the opportunity and get the hand pass across to Beasley, who goaled. And it's Trevor Barker coming on the ground. I think it's Lowe coming off. So Barker, experience for youth. Back at the centre bounce. And it's a 23-point lead now to Footscray. Cronin kicks wide, not a very good one. Petraglia goes up high for a little fellow. Cunningham tries to go through like a bull at a gate. But umpire Rich comes in and says, I better have a bounce.
Well, Cunningham looked as though he might have had a flick in the eye there as he tried to get that ball clear for St Kilda. Bounce takes place. Purser winning in the ruck, gets the tap out, goes to Cunningham for St Kilda. The ball runs free. Coghlan forced to kick quickly. Centre half forward Hardy's given away the free kick. Gotch should take it. Very, very obvious. St Kilda fans going crook. Poor kick by Gotch, intercepted by Neil Cordy. Plays on. Barker doesn't look fit. Gets the handball to Wallace. Wallace goes out towards centre wing, looking for Hawkins, and Hawkins takes the mark in front of Cunningham.
Gives him a little rough up, does Joffa, but Hawkins is equal to the task. Jepp, the hand pass. Kellett down from half back on the half forward line. Big loping strides, puts it up high. Royal is there, but Frawley is too tall and takes a good mark in defence. Frawley, last line of defence. Oh, it's a proppy high kick. It's dangerous. Steve McPherson comes in, couldn't get it at the second attempt. Petraglia tackled by Fashini. Play on, says the umpire. Burns tries to go through. Petraglia out of the pack. Shoots for goal, and he's put it through. A great goal to Angelo Petraglia, and that's his third. fellows of Footscray seem to be well and truly on top. Brian Royal, Angelo Petraglia, and Steve McPherson has always been a problem to St Kilda across that half-forward line.
Well, Footscray lead by 5 goals, all bar 1 point at the 13.5-minute mark. They've kicked 5 goals in this second quarter and skipped away to a handy lead. Ball up in the centre. Ford can't do much with it. Gotch picks up the crumbs. Cronin streams through the centre. Goes towards centre half forward. Out in front, Grant takes a good mark in front of Kellett. And David Grant for St Kilda, perhaps a little too far out to score. He'd need a 70-metre kick to kick a goal. It's a long ball right into the square. It's over the top. It's a goal. Beautiful kick by David Grant. That's his 3rd goal, and it brings St Kilda back in with some chance. They now trail by 23 points at the 14-minute mark.
Well, David Grant with 3 goals and Angelo Petraglia with 3, the respective leading goal kickers for St Kilda and Footscray. But good play then by Cronin as he burst out of the centre of the ground from a good hand pass by Gotch. 23-point lead to Footscray as Ford gets the tap down, but Hardy is there, the thorn in a lot of sides' defence. McConville the fist away. McGuinness can't get it. Cronin comes at him. It's more like volleyball at the moment. Well done by Burns. The hand pass to Elphinston wasn't good, but Elphinston controlled it well. Cordy will mark on his chest. He's got too much pace for Barker, Trevor Barker, who you seem to think is not fit.
Well, he looks overweight to me too, Trevor Barker.
Wide playing.
Anyway, Cordy has done well. It's pretty hard to reverse a situation like that. Purser tries to tap over the back. Scrambly play on centre wing. Through comes Burns. Breaks clear and kicks it high towards the half-forward flank on the member side of the ground. Narkle there for St Kilda. Gives himself a bit of room. Gets the handball to Barker. Go goalwards. No, he doesn't. He passes to Lockett. And Lockett can't quite mark. And can't get the handball clear. Kennedy for Footscray. He's tackled around the neck and should take the free kick and does so. Umpire Rich. Well, St Kilda fans are a little upset because there are a couple of decisions at the other end of the ground that perhaps could have gone their way. But anyway, Kennedy goes on and gets the handball to Kellett. Kellett goes wide and gives it to Hardy on centre wing, out of sight of the ground.
Hardy props and cops to go round Gotch, then decides to kick long. Oh, and a good mark in defence by Whitty. Whitty now runs out of defence, tries to get his team going. They're down by 23 points. Whitty, a good run, kicks up onto the half-forward line. Grant is there, but he was spoiled by Kellett. Kicked off the ground by Baxter. Baxter has Peter-Budge there. Now, St Kilda did have the numbers, but Baxter still falls over and has time to get the ball away to McGuinness, who's a racehorse. Oh, he takes off, runs, then kicks long. Fashini is there for St Kilda. Taps it away from Petraglia, but it goes straight to the hands of Hawkins. Hawkins kick into the pocket, looking for Beasley. Can't get it. Falls over. Frawley takes the ball out. Yes, he does. Out of bounds. And the St Kilda fans, who are something like 150 metres away, reckon it wasn't out.
Well, they do see the game through red, white and black. Ford beaten to it. Whitty does well for the Saints. Gets onto his left foot at centre half back. Kicks into the centre of the ground. Burns is under a bit of pressure. Cunningham backs him up. Fickle bounce, but Cunningham does well. Runs through centre half forward. Goes towards full forehand. A good mark by Lockett. He was out in front of Rick Kennedy. Kennedy perhaps anticipating that Cunningham may have gone towards the goals, but he dropped it in short. Lockett's taken his 3rd mark. A chance to kick his 1st goal. Tony Lockett's kicked at 199 goals for St Kilda in 60 games. And if he kicks this goal and makes it 200, he will be in the class. And he has kicked a behind. So we won't go on with what he was going to do.
Well, actually, they were saying that he'd be in the class of Darryl Baldock, George Young, Billy Young and Billy Moyer. That's classy company in anybody's language. Well,
Kennedy plays on and kicks at the half-back. Egan's got on his own, and Footscray out of trouble so easily. St Kilda, undisciplined stuff to allow Egan to get into the clear. And before you know where you are, the ball's on the centre wing member side of the ground from that kick-out. for a behind that Tony Lockett kicked.
Purser and forward. Coughlin. Gamble. Like a rugby scrum. It could be at the Sydney Cricket Ground. Watching a rugby match. Sun's out. The shadows of the grandstand. Cunningham. Oh, beautiful hand pass to Burns, who shows strength. Gets it wide to Barker. Barker onto Gotch. Gotch 50 metres out from goal. Drives towards the goal. It's going to clear the pack. And it's hit the post. Oh, Bradley Gotch held his head in his hands and said, how did I miss that one? But it was awfully close.
Well, play goes on. Kennedy goes to the outer side of the ground looking for McLean, but St Kilda have got the numbers. Coughlin, you're under a bit of pressure because McLean's gone after it again. Gets the handball wide to Wallace, and Wallace will get Footscray out of trouble. Looks into the centre where good position has been made by Malin. Malin's handball goes to Rance. Rance breaks the tackle easily, goes long towards full forward. Hardy's there, but this ball will nearly go through. No, just out of the reach of Brad Hardy. And it goes through for a behind to the Bulldog side. And they now lead by 22 points. 7-4 Footscray, 3-6 St Kilda.
From the kick from Frawley, Hawkins was up high. Royal, the quick kick out. Hardy, who is now on the half-forward flank, or is he in the pocket? Little push in the back. St Kilda fans saying holding the ball. And they're pretty vocal, the St fans, because they were sensing a victory today. But at the moment, they don't look like achieving it. Footscray playing by far the better. The bounce, not a very good one. Gamble goes up. Nearly copped a punch behind the ear from his teammate Whitty. But the pack develops again, and there'll be another bounce as the ball is pushed a little closer to the Footscray goal.
Ball up at half forward. Crow in there for Footscray, gets the tap out. McConville does the roving. Cunningham taps onto Gotch. Gotch is in trouble, but he gets the handball across to Burns. The bounce favours Greg Burns. He's a little slow, but does it well. Oh, brilliant play by Burns. Sees Elphinston on his own at half forward. The bounce eventually comes to Robert Elphinston. Left foot kick by him to full forward. At the back of the pack is Mark Kellett, and he takes the mark in the goal square for Footscray. Feeds the handball to Baxter. That's Peter Baxter. At half back, he kicks quickly around the corner. Overrun by Royal. St Kilda in numbers. Cronin. Beautiful kick by Cronin. Goes to centre half forward, and the mark has been taken there by Manning. Manning, who started on the interchange bench with Trevor Barker, kicks short to the full forward position. Peter-Budge can't control it. Egan, handball to Jep, well tackled by Narkle. Jep's handball goes out towards the boundary line, can't be controlled by Peter-Budge, and a boundary throw-in will take place about 45 metres around from the St Kilda goal.
It's Manning on replacing Coughlin. Purser gets the tap down. Jep tries to go through the pack, but he was claimed. Burns in trouble. It's pretty rugged. That was a good tackle then on Burns by Malin. And Peter-Budge tries to go through with Brian Royal, but there'll be another throw-in. Footscray 7-4, 46, St Kilda 3-6, 24, and we've been playing just on 21.5 minutes into the second quarter. Barker took his eyes off the ball then. Peter Baxter, pretty strong in defence. The clearing kick, Gamble misses it. So too does Steve McPherson. McConville a chance. Quick kick goes high. Now, St Kilda have the numbers. Comes off the pack to Gamble. Oh, Gamble off the side of the boot. Elphinston a little restricted in his movement. Manning can't get it. That was a silly hand pass then by Gamble. But this will be Rance, who can kick long. Beasley leading out. Whitty in front. Over the back, and here's an easy goal for Brad Hardy, who has starred in defence and now is starring as a forward. And that's Hardy's 15th kick. And his first goal. Once again, mistakes by the St Kilda defence. They just don't seem to be able to get their act together. No talking, no coordination. And Brad Hardy, who has been scintillating in defence, has been now moved onto the forward line and has kicked a goal. Can play this fellow anywhere, can't you, Robbo?
Well, the ball seems to follow him, Clark. I think you mentioned that. Is that in the hands of the trainers? Is that young
Whitty? Yep.
Who flew for that mark in front of the pack and was crashed to the ground by the players coming down the field. May have to come off the field. Not too keen on the idea. He wants to continue on himself by the look of it. But play resumes back in the centre. Footscray leading by 28 points. Ford, tap out, Baxter there for the Bulldogs. Feeds the handball to Jep. Jep does well and gives it to McLean on centre wing. McLean, Burns didn't chase very hard there. McLean goes into the forward pocket where McConville has taken the mark for St Kilda.
McConville, short. Mark has been taken by Ford. Burns. Elphingston can take it. Now, let's see if St Kilda can build up an attacking move here. A beautiful kick finds Peter-Budge. High kick by Peter-Budge to full forward. Grant is swamped. Kennedy stays down. And a good backman's kick, a good clearing kick, although there are two St Kilda players, no Footscray players, although McPherson comes in now, gets rid of Narkle. Cunningham, though, gets it across to Narkle. Narkle, the kick to half forward, clears Manning. Hawkins, who runs out of defence. It's hard to tell where they're playing. Hawkins to Jep. Jep nearly loses the run of it. He was tackled by Elphingston, who doesn't seem to be all that fit. He can't move all that well. Ford loses the run of the ball. So too does Malin. Collins runs into a teammate in Cronin. McGuinness has it. Oh, it's terrible football.
Well, that centre bounce or centre square area looks as though it's firmed up even more than these players may have expected, Clark, and the bounce of the ball is very difficult to read. Umpire bounces in the centre. Cronin, McLean. Cronin goes after it again. Another bounce will take place about 10 metres away from the centre circle, with Footscray leading by 28 points at the 24-minute mark of the second quarter.
Ford, Purser, fisted further afield by Manning. Jep at halfback looks further afield, sees Petraglia, but Silvio Fascini did well to get in front of Petraglia and take the mark. Immediately plays on. Oops, he gets around Royal. Yes, he does it. Oh, cheeky, has a bounce, has another one. Comes up to the edge of the centre square, kicks long. Kennedy and Lockett. A little bit of a push and shove there. Chance now for Gotch, and he snaps truly. A good goal to Bradley Gotch, and a much needed one by the Saints. That was his 9th kick.
Well, excellent roving in the forward line by Gotch. The play set up by scintillating Silvio Fascini, who took the mark at half-back and played on. Something happening. Too many players in there for St Kilda, and a free kick will go to Max Crowe for Footscray. Kicks it quickly towards full forward. Beasley in front, can't mark. McPherson tries to get the handball out towards Hardy. Hardy does well to get past the St Kilda opposition. Royal goes for goal. Offline behind a Footscray. Footscray by 29 points. Footscray by 23 points at the 25-minute mark of the second quarter.
It'll be Collins, the roll to put the ball back into play, or he kicks it high towards Royal. Grant is well down. McConville and Grant both spoil each other. This will allow Royal in. He has a shot for goal, but Ford just couldn't mark it. I think St Kilda are going to be in for one of those sorts of days. He couldn't grab it, and it went through for a behind. So the difference now, 24 points in favour of Footscray at the 26-minute mark of the second quarter. Elphingston, Gamble. Oh, he saw Steve McPherson coming at him. Jep, who's played well in the latter part of this quarter, kicks high to Purser, who will mark within scoring range, and it is almost becoming ridiculous.
Well, I think if basic football skills were looked at, St Kilda made some shocking errors then in that last 2 or 3 minutes, not even 2 or 3 minutes, 90 seconds. And here's another one. Royal drift down into the full forward area and marks basically unopposed, only 12 metres out, and a chance to kick Footscray's 9th goal. Brian Royal coming up for his 11th kick at the 27-minute mark of the second quarter. Choco Royal goes bang, and it's another goal to Footscray. Royal has kicked his first goal, and Footscray go back to a 30-point advantage at the 28-minute mark of the second quarter.
Well, Footscray have kicked 7 goals to St Kilda's 2 in this second quarter. And it hasn't been a good one for the Saints, making basic errors. 30 points lead now to Footscray as Ford gets the tap down, but McGuinness is there. Wallace almost gives it across to Hawkins. Oh, look at the pace of Purser. Oh, he was a real sprinter then, too quick for McConville. The big fellow goes back. Oh, the kick has been smothered. McConville has been claimed a little high. Eventually picked up by Grant, who's been St Kilda's only real effective forward, but that was in defence. Chance now for Lockett, who hasn't kicked a goal yet. Kellett was trying to get him. The hand pass comes back to Burns. Burns kick in short will find Narkle. Narkle plays on, shoots for goal. And I think he's put it through. He has, and a goal to Narkle. And that's Narkle's first goal. And the difference now 24 points in favour of Footscray at the 29-minute mark of this second quarter, and half-time should be going at any tick of the clock. But good bit of play there by Phil Narkle. At least he gave his teammates something to kick to as he made good space.
Goal for goal in this epic battle at Moorabbin. St Kilda and Footscray in the match of the day. Play started, Ford and Crow goes to ground. Baxter can't break clear. Goes in after it again. The bottom of the pack was Gotch, but it's Ford who gets the ball out, kicks it up to centre half forward. Saints making some sort of a comeback. Kennedy leads Lockett, runs away from him. Goes along towards centre half forward. McConville and Purser. Purser takes the mark because he's too tall for Peter McConville. And St Kilda undermanned up in those key defence positions. Purser's pass is perfect. And Beasley's lead was equally as good. And Beasley is marked 40 metres out directly in front. A chance to kick Footscray's 10th goal. And Simon Beasley's personal tally could possibly be 3 after this kick. Beasley punts for goal. Straight over the top of the goal umpire's head. 3 goals to Beasley. And Footscray lead again by 30 points at the 30-minute mark of the second quarter.
Well, Danny Frawley, who's in the state squad as one of the full-back selected, it really put Beasley out of business in that first quarter. But Beasley, as with players further down the field bringing the ball quickly out of the centre, is using his good pace for a big fellow to give the leads, and he's been rewarded. So the difference now 30 points in favour of Footscray. Beasley's 3rd goal. And there's Burns out of the centre, wide for Elphingston. Now over the top, he can give it to Narkle. Narkle looks at Kennedy and sidesteps brilliantly in short to Peter-Budge. Peter-Budge off the right boot, but it's going to go across the face of goal and out of bounds on the full. And Peter-Budge, his enthusiasm, perhaps a little too much there, perhaps could have steadied. But there's Cordy's kick out of the last line of defence for St Kilda, the free kick, as that ball went out of bounds on the full. Ball rolling free. Burns. Budge. Peter-Budge onto Cunningham. A beautiful kick by Cunningham. That's a 40-metre shot, and he's put it through. And we should be hearing the siren at any moment for half-time. And that could perhaps keep the Saints in touch.
Well, some slick handball by St Kilda set up that goal by Cunningham. Cunningham's first goal, St Kilda 6, and they trail by exactly 4 goals at the 32-minute mark of the second quarter. Ball bounced in the centre. Crow gets the tap out over Malin's head, over McPherson's head. Here's Jeff Cunningham. Siren sounds, half-time at Moorabbin. Footscray 4 goals in front. The Bulldogs 10-6-60, leading St Kilda 6 goals, 6-42. 10-6-66 to 6-6-42.
Here we go with the third quarter, and a great second quarter by Footscray sees them leading by 24 points. It's Ford against Purser. Purser's play well, but Ford wins out on that occasion. A quick kick over the shoulder by Gotch, nearly marked by Narkle. Egan is there, pushes it back to Kellett. Was that Rance? No, that was Rance. Jep falls on the ball, pushes it along the ground towards Wallace. Cronin falls over. Egan back again, pushes it wide for Jep, who uses the body well to get in front of Coughlin. Don't know what the effort was all about, because the boundary line was too close.
Between half-forward flank and wing on the member side of the ground, Purser gets the tap out, goes down towards Royal. Narkle on the bottom of the pack, takes the ball away. No, he can't break clear, and umpire Saville decides on a bounce. The ball about 85 metres around from the St Kilda goal. The Saints trail by 24 points after a brilliant second quarter by the Bulldogs, in which they kicked 8 goals to 4. A bounce, low, and Purser. Ball goes to Malin. Malin feeds it to Royal. Royal's kick up towards centre wing. No Footscray players there. Alistair Ford for St Kilda kicks it high. It's a poor kick by Ford over the boundary line, and a free kick to the Footscray side for out of bounds on the full on centre wing member side of the ground, the recipient Phil Malin.
Malin, who started on the interchange, does a lot of the heavy work in the packs. Crow's the target, but he was well spoiled by Gamble and also Ford. Cronin, one of St Kilda's top kick getters up until the half time with 10, tried to break through the pack, but to no avail. And there'll be a bounce between wing and half forward for Footscray. Footscray leading by 24 points. That was the margin at half-time. Crow nicely done, but straight to McConville, who was claimed in a vice-like grip by Malin. The umpire said it was held to him.
Ex-Carlton
so teammates. Yeah.
Premiership teammates, would that be?
You're the Carlton.
Malin and McConville. Yeah, well, it's a big chance. Wallace breaks clear for Footscray, kicks it towards centre half forward. A good take there by, looks like Cunningham. He's been penalised for dropping the ball. It was Trevor Barker. Another one of the blondes at St Kilda, and the free kick will be taken by McGuinness. He's not a bad kick of the football, Tony McGuinness. He's inside the 50-metre line. It's his 7th kick. He's already kicked 1 goal. Nice long kick, offline. In the forward pocket, kicked by Crow for a goal. Another goal to Footscray. They now lead by 30 points at the 2.5-minute mark of the third quarter.
Once again, very, very loose defence by St Kilda, and they failed to put the pressure on Footscray. In fact, I think they go to sleep. I think they think the ball is either going out of bounds or through for a behind, go to sleep, and that allowed Crow to come in and kick his second goal. So good effort by Max Crow. Max Crow's second goal, 30 points lead to Footscray, but Royal's got it out of the centre. He was the catalyst of the revival of Footscray. Frawley, a costly mistake. Beasley, a shot for goal, but he's well offline. In fact, it's through for a behind. That was a high kick. It was hard to tell whether it was out of bounds on the full or through for a behind, but it was there for a behind. But Frawley, desperate, backed his own judgment. Didn't quite get to it, and Beasley had the big opportunity then to goal.
McGuinness would be crook on him. Kicked in towards Barker. Hardy tries to get round Barker. Boundary throw in, half forward flank. Slightly favouring Footscray. They lead by 31 points, the Bulldogs, at the 4-minute mark of the third quarter. Crow gets the tap out. Goes down towards Petraglia. He's on the bottom of the pack. Crow can't break clear. Now the bounce will take place about 80 metres out from the Footscray goal, between half-forward flank and centre wing on the member side of the ground at Moorabbin, where the ground is in perfect condition for the vital clash between St Kilda looking for their first victory and Footscray striving to gain a place in the 5. Ball at half-forward, Barker and Hardy. Free kick to Trevor Barker on this occasion, and the cheers or jeers or whatever you like to call them from St Kilda fans, because they are completely dissatisfied with these two umpires. Now a 15-metre penalty imposed on Hardy. And he doesn't come back on the mark anyway, but Barker goes on with play and kicks it to Gamble in the centre of the ground.
Gamble looking for the 15 metres, runs around past McLean, looking for Cronin, can't get it. Peter Baxter trying to go through, he can't get it, but eventually picked up by Wallace. Steve McPherson, well spoiled by McConville, but he punches it right into the hands of Mayland. Mayland to Steve McPherson. McPherson lines the goals up, has a long shot, but he's offline and through for a behind. Well, that looked dangerous for St Kilda then, as McPherson had plenty of time to steady. He was a long way out, but had a good sight of the goals. And it's Footscray now, 11-8-74 to St Kilda, 6-6-42.
Kicked in by Frawley, members side of the ground wing, punched away by Purser, intercepted by Burns, gives it to Fashini. Fashini to centre half forward, in front. Oh, good mark by Rance. Oh, fair mark, St Kilda fans, come on. Murray Rance for Footscray, left foot kick. Out towards half-forward flank, members side of the ground. Crow, Royal does brilliant roving, kicks it quickly to half-forward. Intercepted by Collins, he's under lots of pressure from McGuinness. McPherson can't control it. Collins goes after it again. Barker there for St Kilda, can't break clear. Silvio Fashini, hassled and vassled by Hardy. McGuinness threads the hand pass to Royal, who makes space for himself and kicks to full forward. McPherson takes the mark. Right in front of goals, 30 metres out. A chance to kick Footscray's 12th goal. It's Steve McPherson's 4th mark. He hasn't kicked a goal as yet, but a big chance here. Steve McPherson goes bang with the right foot, and another goal to Footscray, and it looks so easy for them. They now lead by 38 points at the 6-minute mark of the 3rd quarter.
Well, Royal has been the dominant rover. In fact, Royal and Petraglia were the players that really set Footscray alight in that second quarter, in which saw them leading by 24 points at half-time. But Brian Royal has been taking the St Kilda small men apart. Although I guess Bradley Gotch has chipped in, but he hasn't been consistent as far as St Kilda's been concerned. 38 points lead now to Footscray. Purser dominates the ruck, gets it down to Mayland. Mayland's long kick up into the half-forward line. McGuinness couldn't get it. Gamble loses the run of it. McGuinness has got it now, nearly threw it out to Hardy, who was running past. Hardy still got it. Royal again out of the pack, a shot for goal. It's drifting back in, it's a goal! Oh, magnificent goal to Brian Royal, and that's his 2nd. And the Bulldogs, there's no hoodoo on them today. They're certainly doing it well at Moorabbin. They haven't won here in 2 years. And at the other end of the ground, Kennedy is walking up to the centre square and is really urging the players on. That's what we want, fellas, as we march towards perhaps a place in the final 5.
Well, they may also have heard the score from VFL Park, where Collingwood was 7 goals in front of Essendon at half-time. And Footscray going right on with it after an 8-goal second quarter. Purser dominating centre bounces. Gotch is tackled by Mayland quite fairly, and another bounce will take place some 15 metres, maybe only 10 metres away from the centre circle. Footscray lead by 44 points, 9 minutes into the 3rd quarter.
From the centre bounce, Narkle out. Wide to Elphingston. Elphingston 50 metres out from goal, drives the ball forward, but the distance was well and truly there, but the direction was not. And St Kilda need plenty of goals and not behinds if they're to get into this match. They're trailing by 33 points at the 8-minute mark of this 3rd quarter.
Ball kicked into half-back members side of the ground. Cunningham does well to spoil. Wallace is there for Footscray. Boundary line too close, and a throw in. Boys getting a little excited down there. Stephen Wallace and Jeff Cunningham. But play will go on as boundary umpire takes control. Throw in about 75 metres around from the St Kilda goal. Good strong play by Purser. Bustle Lockett out of the play. Free kick there to Footscray. Brian Royal, the player, on the bottom of the pack. Goes on quickly with play. Runs around Lockett. Cronin, the man on the mark, didn't do much chasing. Gamble under pressure at centre half back. Well, if that was a hand pass, I'm a Dutchman. But anyway, Ford gets it out. Petraglia picks up the crumbs, goes up the full forward at the back of the pack. Beasley. Petraglia had him in his sights, and it was a good pass by Angelo Petraglia, and Simon Beasley has taken the mark about 35 to 40 metres out on a 45-degree angle. Beasley's already kicked 3 goals, a chance to kick his 4th, and Footscray's 14th. Beasley punts for goal. Goal umpire moves across, but it's a goal to Beasley, and Footscray go marching on.
And that's Beasley's 4th goal, and that's his 42nd for the season. So certainly hit his straps after a poor first quarter, where Frawley had the better of him. But Beasley, with the players like Royal and Petraglia coming downfield and passing to him like that, there's nothing much that the defence of St Kilda can do. Centre bounce again. It's Ford getting it down. Gotch just never gives up. Puts it wide for Lockett. No, it's Grant. Grant tries to pick it up. He does beautifully, but his tackle gets the hand pass towards Lockett. Rance, as cool as you like, down to Kennedy. Kennedy's clearing kick wide for Wallace. Wallace traps it. Elphingston comes at him. Wallace kicks up to Hardy. A beautiful pass finds Hardy, and the little fella takes off. Ginger Meggs into the forward pocket, and the mark has been taken by McGuinness. Well, he's a long way up from the forward pocket. He's at the 50-metre mark. Now he gets the lead from Beasley. A beautiful pass. Some lovely leading by Beasley. Frawley gets into the back of Beasley at the last minute. Has incurred a 15 metres penalty, which I think was a little stiff.
Well, I suppose we're a little too far away for us to judge. Maybe the umpire saw something as Frawley went to the ground, but the 15-metre penalty has certainly put Beasley in a good position. Coming up for his 5th goal. Goal umpire moves across, but it's another goal to Beasley. His 5th, and Footscray, with very little opposition, go to a lead of 55 points at the 10-minute mark of the 3rd quarter.
Well, there's not much we can say about St Kilda. They just seem to lack the basic skills and talent. Five goals to Beasley. Ford gets the tap down. Malin. Away go the Scraggers again. This time through Wallace. His kick though finds Hawkins. Over the top to Royal, who's been brilliant. To Petraglia, another brilliant little fellow. Malin tells him to go towards goal, and he does, and he's put it through. And it's oh so easily. Well, that's Petraglia's 4th goal.
Ten kicks to Angelo Petraglia, and 4 goals to him, 2 goals to Royal, and they've been dominant rovers, the Footscray pair. 16-8 plays 6 goals 7, 13 minutes into the 3rd quarter. It's all Footscray. They've kicked 6 goals in that 13 minutes since half-time. Ford gets the tap out, goes to centre-half forward. Lockett can't control it. Malin has it. Quick kick. Ford intercepts. Down to the ground. Narkle can't break clear. Held when didn't have possession of the football. Play on, says umpire Saville. Ball goes to Cunningham. Cunningham goes for goal. Offline. And a behind to St Kilda. 6-8 plays 16-8. 14 minutes into the 3rd quarter.
10 goals the difference, favouring Footscray. Beautiful kick in by Rance to McLean. McLean wrong foots Elphingston. Oh, hand pass to Jetnell. He didn't come off. No, that was Baxter. Baxter's kick into the centre of the ground. Manning can't go with it. Tries to get it. Malin's a bit short, too slow. Brought down by Manning. Clown says the umpire. Gotch gets the hand pass wide to Cronin. St Kilda's best kick getter. Fashini the chance. Rance the fist. Chance now for Cronin. Chips at goal, but he's well and truly offline. And through for a behind. And Fashini is down. And
well, what a hospital,
look good.
What a hospital kick that was from Cronin. That was a terrible kick, because Fashini had 20 metres on Rance. There's the culprit, Murray Rance kicking in for Footscray. Members side of the ground, and Hawkins takes a good mark in front of his opponent Cunningham, as Silvio Fascini still in the hands of the St Kilda trainers. Looks as though he may have a rib injury. Play goes on, ball up towards the centre wing area where it's punched over the boundary line for a throw in. Slightly favouring St Kilda. They trail by 59 points at the 15-minute mark. Fascini still in trouble. Boundary throw in Egan, caught by Gotch. Play goes on. Royal kicks it high towards wing. Good mark taken by Crow. Oh, he's hurt his ankle, has he? Fascini being carried off in a distressed state. And Crow kicks towards half forward where Hardy leads Barker, but Barker does well. Scrambles the ball, crashed to the ground after he kicks it over the boundary line on the full, and a free kick to Footscray on centre wing. Silvio Fascini being carried off the ground, just lost his mouth guard in the process. Ball kicked up towards half forward, punched over the boundary line by Frawley, and a throw-in will take place quite near the interchange area where the St Kilda interchange player is preparing himself to take Silvio Fascini's place. Burns at the back of the pack, kicks high towards centre half forward. The contestants there, Lockett in front, takes the mark in front of Kennedy. Frustration being shown here by St Kilda, because wherever they go there seems to be 2 or 3 Footscray players. Tony Lockett will kick from very near the 50-metre line. Long kick by Lockett is offline, hits the post, and another behind to the St Kilda side when they badly need goals.
And Fascini coming off now, and coming back onto the ground is Whitty. But Fascini, one of the real goes for St Kilda, has never given up. And he's only a little fellow, but has done remarkably well. So that's a sad blow for the Saints. Bradley Gotch, another little fellow that's had the odds against him, puts the ball up high. Fist of Rance. Malin out towards Jeff. Gotch is there. Little fellow, a hip and shoulder. And right into the fence. That doesn't look good. Is Jeff okay? Yes. Oh, I wonder what he said then.
Well, I don't think he was too pleased with what happened, but anyway, he wasn't hurt, which was good. Play goes on. McGuinness on the bottom of the pack, tackled by Narkle. Can he get rid of the ball? No. Umpire, fair decision. A ball up will take place on the half-forward flank in St Kilda's scoring zone. They trail miserably at the moment. They're 58 points in arrears of Footscray, and we've played 17 minutes of the third quarter. Quick kick out of the pack is marked by Cunningham between half-forward and centre wing. Jeff Cunningham, always been a good goer for St Kilda, but he's been struggling of late, obviously. Kicks it high towards full forward at the back of the pack. The high flyer, great mark taken by Lowe. Young player coming into the side, has only played a handful of games. This is his 4th game for the club after being recruited from Mount Eliza. Stuart Lowe. Awkward kicking style, but it's effective, and a goal to St Kilda, and they move on to 7 goals 10, 52, trailing Footscray, who are 16 goals 8, 104.
Well, that's St Kilda's first goal of the quarter, and it came at the 19-minute mark, and they kicked 1 goal, of course, and Footscray have kicked 6 in this quarter, so that just about tells the tale. But Silvio Fascini going off is a sad blow for the Saints. $52 points lead now to Footscray. Wallace out of the centre. Hardy, no, in front I thought might have been McConville. Manning to half forward. Grant can't get it. Kennedy trying to burst his way through the pack. Wallace off the ground. Burns will come at him. Wallace in trouble as Narkle tries to trap him, but he gets the kick away. Hawkins and Cunningham, Gotch and Baxter, Manning and Petraglia, but there's a free kick and it's going St Kilda's way, and it's going to Gotch. Obviously interfered with when he didn't have the ball. Gotch's 13th kick, and he'll put the Saints into attack. To half forward, Lockett leads out. Kennedy loves to go for the punch. That's what you do when you're a full-back. Lockett held it too long. Maylan grabbed by Cronin. Purser, the relieving kick. McConville, favoured by the bounce. McPherson comes at him. McConville a little slow. Elphingston over the top. Back to McConville. McConville's kick to Peter-Budge. Waits for it to bounce. Jet comes through and fists the ball over the boundary line for throwing. Some 55 metres away from the St Kilda goal.
Big punch on by St Kilda into the forward pocket area. Low at the back. Opposed by Rance. Low does well. Crumb's picked up by McGuinness. Tries to handball the ball to McLean. McLean gives it to Jep. Jep's got a little bit of time. Kicks it towards half back. High flyers required. Crow was there. Picked up by Ford. Ford goes short to Gotch. And Gotch takes the mark. Nearly in the centre of the ground. Play on, says the umpire. Gotch goes back and thumps the ball towards full forward. In front of the pack, Low can't mark. Cronin. Low does it again. A little bit slow, but gives it to Peter-Budge. Peter-Budge kick over the shoulder into the goal square. Mark taken by Egan. Play on, says Kennedy, and Egan does so, but kicks it straight to Cunningham. A poor kick by Michael Egan. Cunningham's short kick is a good one and finds Cronin about 35 or 40 metres out from goal. More or less directly in front of goal and a chance to post St Kilda's 8th goal. Cronin yet to kick a goal as St Kilda trail miserably on the scoreboard. They're 52 points behind. In general play, they're 152 points behind. Cronin punts for goal. Goal umpire moves across and he's offline, Phil Cronin. And another behind of the St Kilda score, which moves them to 7-11-53. 51 points behind Footscray, who are 16-8-104.
Murray Rance, certainly been an acquisition to the Bulldogs this year. Very solid and reliable, not a very good kick. Maylan can't get it. Hawkins can't either. Wallace is there. Peter-Budge putting a little bit of pressure on, number 22 for St Kilda. But it's still in St Kilda's forward line. 22 and a half minutes gone in the third quarter. Ford and Purser. It'll be Purser's free kick because Ford is very frustrated at the moment because Purser's had the better of him today. The kick by Purser is just long. Crow, but it was fisted away from him by Prawley. Picked up by Manning. Manning's high kick, plenty of Footscray defenders. Not much method up forward for St Kilda. Gotch takes the ball out after a good tackle by McGuinness. And there'll be a throw in 60 metres out from the St Kilda goal, and it's Footscray 16-8-104 to St Kilda 7-11-53.
Hawkins going off the ground. Maybe a disciplinary move as young Eppelston prepares himself for his first run in league football. McGuinness gets the handball out to Peter Baxter. He's got a bit of space, goes through the centre of the ground and kicks it long directly at Beasley. Opposed by Gamble. Hardy gets it, sees McLean running straight into an open goal. McLean, you're going to mess it up. No, he doesn't. Gets onto his left foot, makes it harder, but kicks the goal instead.
No, it's a behind. It was touched, I think, off the boot. Umpire indicating that it was touched. Gamble, the kick in. Grant, a good strong mark. And one of the young talents of St Kilda that the Saints have to persevere with. This fellow has kicked 3 goals, but he's been down in the fence. So developing into a versatile footballer. Purser gets the knockdown. Manning falls over, tries to push it wide. Peter Baxter won't gain much with that kick, but McConville is there. McPherson tries to go through. Narkle loses the run of the ball. Ford was on the bottom of the pack. And the St Kilda fans reckon they should have had a couple of free kicks there, and they're giving umpire Rich on this occasion a nice old raspberry.
Well, I think the look on David Grant's face as he got himself up from the bottom of that pack may have indicated that even the players are frustrated with the umpires. Ford gets the tap out, goes out towards Peter Baxter for the Bulldogs. His handball goes to Royal. And Royal does well round the neck, but he still gets his kick to full forward. At the back of the pack, Gamble slips, recovers well. He's now on Beasley and kicks out towards half-back where Elphinstone's made good position. He's opposed by Mick McLean. Magic Mick McLean does it well and goes short, looking for Beasley and finds him 40 metres out on a rather difficult angle. But we've seen Beasley kick goals from this position on many, many occasions. 16-9 plays 7-11 at the 25-minute mark. And that's no free ad. Beasley kicks for goal. Goal umpire moves across slightly, but it's a goal to Simon Beasley. That's his 6th goal. Footscray 17th. 17 goals, 9, 111. St Kilda 7-11, 53.
Simon Beasley having a particularly good match and is climbing up the goal-kicking ladder. And probably not as good a season as he had last year, but that can be said of all his teammates. But he's kicked 6 goals, and his team well and truly on top. 68 points lead now to Footscray as Percy goes in. Beautiful tap down to Malin. Away go the Scraggers again. Brian Royal. Collins gets him. Little push in the back maybe. Grant cleverly wide to Ford, who's too slow. Peter Baxter traps it well. Footscray doing well, and a good kick by Baxter to Hardy. McPherson could have claimed it also, but Ginger Meggs, the Brownlow medalist, superb. 17th kick. Fancies himself too. He's already kicked a goal. He made his name, or won his Brownlow in defence. Now he wants to try and win one as a forward. And I tell you what, he can do it too with kicking like that. He was a good 45 metres out from goal, and he's put it through for his 2nd goal. And Footscray go further and further ahead. What do you think was behind Malthouse putting Hardy up on the half-forward line? You any ideas, Robbo? Well,
Perhaps just a little bit of bite when the ball hit the ground, although he's not such a spectacular player from that point of view, but he does get the ball, and I think they were struggling a little early, and he seems to have put a bit of bite in that forward line. Ball back in the centre for another bounce forward. This time he gets the tap out over Purser. Low comes through. Peter Baxter has done quite a good job at half-back for the Bulldogs. Kicks it long towards centre-half forward. Hardy, opposed by Barker. Barker threads his way through the pack. Gets it back towards the centre of the ground. Peter-Budge over to Alistair Ford. Ford gives it to Gotch. Gotch looks in short. There's heaps of St Kilda players, but they mess it up, which is nothing unusual. Burns tries to break through. Oh, he's opposed by 4 Footscray players, and what happens? The Bulldogs break clear with McLean streaming towards centre-half forward. 2 bounces, looks for Beasley up at full forward, over the back of the pack. Frawley, can he break clear? Gets the hand pass out to Collins. Collins in the clear, gives it to Grant. Grant now handballs to Ford, the lumbering Ford. Handballs to no one in particular and puts Grant under lots and lots of pressure, and Grant will be tackled by Baxter. He slams him into the hard Moorabbin turf. On goes the play. Collins goes into centre-half forward. At the back of the pack, Callett can't mark. In there is Rance. You're in trouble. Lockett came out, nearly snotted him or pulled his head off, and Rance takes the free kick from a crude Tony Lockett tackle.
Gee, solid Rance. Hand pass to his skipper Kennedy, who's been superb at full-back. Kicks wide for Jepp. Another player that was named as one of the 5 on the interchange and got his spot in the side, who has done well for Footscray, the former Tiger. His kick wide. Petraglia will have the pace, and he does. Oh, he's too quick. He has a shot for goal, and I think he's put it through. A magnificent goal to Angelio Petraglia, and that's his 5th. And he got it with his 11th kick.
Well, what an acquisition Angelo Petraglia has been for Footscray. This is his 18th game since coming from Port Melbourne for the Bulldogs, and he's kicked now 18 goals this year. Play restarted. Purser gets the tap out. Grant's under a lot of pressure. So is Cunningham. Handball goes wide to Manning. Manning kicks long to full forward. Kellett. Good mark by Mark Kellett, because he must have known there were players bearing down on him. Gets back onto his right foot and with scintillating pace comes across centre half back. Kicks it out to the wing. Attempted mark by Baxter. Cunningham does the recovering better. Grant in there for St Kilda. Gives the handball to Burns. Burns in short. And a very, very fortunate Phil Cronin puts his hands out on the ball. Sticks like glue. Cronin inside the 50-metre line. A chance to kick St Kilda's 8th goal. Kicks to the front of the square. Low at the back, can't mark. Neither can Lockett. Kennedy, quick kick out of the pack towards Kellett. Over the top of the pack. Oh, down goes Young. Ready to go to start the last quarter at Moorabbin. Footscray, 19-9, 123. St Kilda, 7-11-53. Purser, who's dominated the centre knockouts all day, gets another one. Malin takes the ball away. Kicks it to centre half forward. Barker. They've copped the serve at three-quarter time, the Saints, from their coach. And they took, Graham Jelly took the players to the umpires. We don't know what happened, but they've livened up a little. Burns takes the ball away. Handball's in front of himself. Goes after it again. He's tackled by McLean. Gets it away, but Malin picks up the crumbs. Tries to break clear onto his right foot. Phil Malin. No, he decides on a handball. Gives it to McLean. And McLean round onto his left foot. Kicks it towards centre half forward. And the mark taken by Steve McPherson, who coolly turns around and punts for goal and bangs it through for a Footscray goal.
Oh, goodness me. Whatever Jelly said at three-quarter time, it has had no effect. Because that was mistakes then by St Kilda. They just didn't cover. Their defence has been deplorable all day. And that's Steve McPherson's second goal. McPherson's second goal, and it's a 76 points lead to Footscray. Ford gets the tap out. He was aided by the bounce, but Peter Baxter is there for Footscray. Oh, a little shove out by Frawley. He got Crow in the back, I thought. Hardy won't let him go, but no, the umpire's not seeing it that way. Hardy sticks his chest out at Frawley. Frawley decides to kick wide. Going up high was Whitty, who couldn't get it. Royal. Top kick getter on the ground. Oh, nice anticipation then by Ford. The hand pass to Barker. And the St Kilda skipper through the middle. Kicks long, but he kicks to where there are two Footscray player and one St Kilda player. That was Whitty, who had managed to get the ball down against the odds. Peter-Budge kicks into the forward pocket. Egan, the ball eludes him. Gotch. St Kilda's top kick getter is brought to the turf, much to the displeasure of the Saints supporters, and the ball will be thrown in.
Boundary throw in St Kilda's scoring area. Whitty, Eppenstone for Footscray. Gets the ball away, intercepted by Narkle. Good play there by that young fellow again. Egan it is for Footscray now. Kicks it down towards the half-back flank area. Oh, sensational mark taken by Peter McConville. Doesn't waste any time. Gives the handball to Lowe. Up towards full forward. Egan and Cronin. Egan puts his body in for fear of being hurt. Eppelstern is in there too. And a bounce will take place about 45 metres out from the St Kilda goal.
And there's the bounce. Lowe tries to do it all by himself, but he can't do it. Egan, his kick is smothered. Oh, it's scrambly football. Jep gets one too high, but still manages to get the hand pass out to Royal. Royal on to Malin. Over the top to Peter Baxter. Baxter back to Jep. That was good play by Timmy Jep to follow the play down. His kick finds Wallace. To Rance. Oh, there's no pressure at all. The kick. Oh, good mark by Barker. And Steve McPherson's not going to pick it up. McConville is.
Well, Barker seems to have been fired up by what happened at three-quarter time, because he'd only had 2 or 3 touches in the first 3 quarters, and he's had 2 or 3 touches in the first minute of the last quarter. A quick kick up to the wing was marked by Peter Baxter for Footscray. And the Footscray half-back His 11th kick, a serviceable job in defence for the Bulldogs all day. Centre-half forward Frawley, tapped on by Crow to McLean. McLean to Wallace. Wallace a short kick is intercepted by Collins for St Kilda.
Collins, the clearing kick, is always a go at Cunningham, but there's a free kick going Footscray's way. And I think it's going to our mate, no, I'm not going to say Eccleston, but it's not. It's going to Egan. Hand pass to Rance. Handy player. Half forward. Oh! Fairy-like leap there by Steve McPherson. Hardy goes down and pushing the back. And Hardy will get the free kick. And no doubt can score. He's already kicked 2 goals. It was supreme in defence. Then Malthouse moved him up onto the half-forward line. This will be he's had 22 possessions. That's absolutely incredible. 17 kicks and 4 hand passes. Now it's his 18th kick. He's put it through for his 3rd goal. And Footscray can do no wrong. It's a percentage booster for them as they desperately try to get a spot in the 5. And the way they're going today, they should do it. Maybe not today, but they can keep up this form. Well, who knows where they could end up. There's Hardy, Barker looking after him.
Centre bounce, Footscray in complete control of this game at Moorabbin. Crow, Malin, who's done well since he came on off the interchange bench. Lockett can't break clear of the McPherson tackle, but the McPherson tackle was an illegal one, and Lockett will take the free kick on the defensive side of centre for the Saints. It's his 7th kick, Tony Lockett. He has yet to kick a goal. Oh, what a great mark at the back of the pack by the Footscray skipper, Ricky Kennedy, who's done an excellent job in putting Lockett right out of business. Kennedy kicks to half forward. Hardy gives the ball to Wallace. Wallace gets the handball to McLean. McLean's short kick goes over the head of Royal. Beasley overruns the football. Hardy soccer tactics. Royal goes for goal. Bang, and it's another goal of Footscray by Brian Royal. It's his 3rd goal. And between him and Angelo Petraglia, they've certainly cut that St Kilda defence to pieces.
Yes, the St Kilda players aren't running. There are no numbers there. They're not backing each other up. And it's just left to the odd individuals to try and get the ball up onto the St Kilda forward line. But there's Brian Royal. He and Hardy, perhaps the 2 best players on the ground. Centre bounce. It's an 86 points lead now to Footscray. Cunningham tries to go through the hand pass to Cronin. Out wide to Peter-Budge. Peter-Budge the high kick. Lowe is there. He couldn't pull in the mark. Kellett tries to break clear. Hand pass away to Kennedy. Kennedy gets the hand pass to Rance, who's brought down. And I think the umpire's content to let that ball go over the boundary line, and he'll watch it being thrown in.
Boundary throw in, 12 metres around from the St Kilda goal. Narkle can't break clear. Egan under pressure. Cronin goes. No, the kick is offline. Up to full forward. Good mark taken in front of the pack by young Lowe, is it?
Yep. Wasn't too low then, was he?
No, it was a good grab. Promising type. He's got a very awkward kicking style. He's already kicked 1 goal. And has kicked another one for the Saints. St Kilda 8-11, 59. Footscray 22-9, 141. 2nd goal to Stuart Lowe.
He's only a youngster. I think he's only about 17 or 18 years of age. And look at his build. He's strong and he's still growing too. Hate to meet him when he turns 21. .82 points lead to Footscray, but that was Lowe's 2nd goal. Crow tries to kick out of the middle. Lockett, showing his frustration, bundles Wallace out of the way. And the umpires will bounce again. The umpires, Rich and Saville. This is umpire Saville. And it's Crow getting the tap down. And there'll be a free kick further downfield as Lockett got Baxter around the neck. And umpire Saville is not going to pay an advantage at all, but the ball is being relayed back to Wallace. Malin calls for it, but Wallace kicks long, and this could be a mark to Burns. It is. Oh, I could feel the footy hitting his hands then from up here, and on this cold day it wouldn't be too good. Oh, 15 metres penalty. But the advantage played as Collins gets the hand pass to Cunningham, too slow, brought down by the pacey McLean. Kennedy is there, nice hand pass out to Kellett, and away goes Kellett to kick wide, looking for Purser, and he can't find him.
Well, superb football by McLean. Hardy picks up the crumbs, kicks it into full forward, and the little fella's done it again, Brian Royal. This time he unselfishly short passes to Beasley, who's in a much better position, 35 metres out directly in front. And it's another deplorable effort by St Kilda. Simon Beasley directly in front. Opportunity to kick his 7th goal, and Footscray's 23rd as he punts it straight through the centre, and the charge goes on. Footscray 23-9, 147, St Kilda 8-11-59.
Great performance by Simon Beasley with 7 goals. But as we've said so often during our call of this match, the number 18 there for Footscray has been aided by the ball coming down constantly from the centre, being moved quickly out of the centre through Royal and Petraglia, and players like that just moving it quickly out of the centre. Hawkins is also there, and Wallace not giving the man on Beasley much chance, and Beasley's made the most of it with 7 goals. He now moves to 45 goals for the season. Well, the bounce will favour Purser down to Wallace. High kick, Petraglia having a little wrestle there. Frawley, high up in the air, that's a rainmaker. Oh, and a good strong mark then to Jep. Made it look a little worse than what it was, I think, Tim Jep. He's been a good player for Footscray. Kicks to half forward. Beasley! Oh, good mark.
8th mark, Clark.
Gee, that's a good effort. Though it doesn't matter, I guess, how much the ball comes down there, you've still got to get it, don't you? And you've still got to kick them. And Beasley would be about 40 metres out from goal. Probably a little less, going for his 8th goal. Runs in now, stabs at the ball, not much out the margin for error, and he puts it through for his 8th goal. Well, it's just a procession now. And one wonders why Footscray haven't been able to produce this form a little more consistently during the season. But then again, I suppose they're not playing St Kilda every week.
Play restarted. Footscray leading by 94 points. McGuinness there for the Bulldogs. Frawley under a lot of pressure. Burns gets it out to Cunningham, and St Kilda, one of their rare occasions up forward. Cronin at the back of the pack can't control it. Narkle in there, but the crumbs are picked up by the unassuming Peter Baxter. Half-back flanker for Footscray. The quiet achiever.
Really strong too, isn't he, that
yes,
Peter
a good
Baxter?
Steady player, Clark, that young bloke. Jep kicks it over the top. Who's there? Footscray player in Wallace. Breaks clear, plenty of space. He can bounce it again. He's run 25 metres, and the player is allowed to go on, and it's a poor kick in the finish, and the mark taken by Barker at centre half back for St Kilda. 7th kick for Trevor Barker. Elects to go to the outer side of the ground, looking out there for it's Alistair Ford, who's taken the mark on centre wing.
Ford, high kick, not giving his players much chance further downfield. Cronin and Kennedy doing battle. McLean can't gain control. Manning's there. He loses it. Wallace loses it. Cronin eventually tries to do something positive. Kennedy, oh, he's cheeky. Oh, kicks out, finds Callett. Those two have combined well in the last line of defence. Up another half-forward line, and the mark has been taken by Grant, one of St Kilda's better players.
Grant kicks it into the centre of the ground. At the back of the pack, Baxter punches the ball away, but Elphinstone picks up the crumbs. Heavily strapped left thigh, kicks up full forward, and Lowe has done well with bulk, goes goalwards, looking for a third one, and he's kicked it. No, it's offline. Bad luck for young Stuart Lowe. 2 goals, 1 to his credit, in St Kilda score of 8 goals, 12.
Short kick finds Malin. There's Rance. Jep running with the flight of the ball. No, he can't do anything with it there, and there'll be a throw-in. Well, it's been somewhat of a massacre in this last half. In fact, for the 3 quarters of this match, the first quarter, St Kilda led by a point at quarter time, but they haven't been in the race since then, because there was a 24-point lead at half-time with St Kilda going into attack as Gotch takes the mark. 24-point lead at half-time to Footscray, a 70-point lead at 3-quarter time to the Bulldogs, and they're going further and further away as Gotch puts the ball to centre-half forward. The mark has been taken by Frawley, who's the full-back. Then moved out to centre-half back, so he's gradually making his way up the field. He's now at centre-half forward. If the match went much longer, he may end up at full forward. Oh, it's a backman's kick too. It drifts offline and through for a behind. There's the sorry tale for St Kilda supporters. 153 to 61. That's a 92-point lead to Footscray.
Well, sensational mark there by Jep. Just a few moments ago, we saw him flattened by, it looked as though it may have been Burns. And here he is fighting his way back. It's his 15th kick for the day. Kicks towards centre wing. Steve McPherson bundles McConville out of the road. Duxon gets through 2 tackles. Handballs to Malin. Malin's 40-metre handball goes to Purser. Purser to McGuinness. McGuinness will go for goals with a long left foot kick into the front of the square. The high flyers are there. At the bottom of the pack, Petraglia, it's kicked off the ground, but it's rushed through by St Kilda defenders for a behind. And Footscray go on to 24 goals 10, 154 to 8-13, 61. Play goes on. Gamble kicks to himself, runs out Member's side of the ground, half-back flank. At the back of the pack, Baxter tries to punch it away from Cunningham. Boundary line looms up. Jep can't get past Burns. Burns kicks it off the ground. Through comes Egan, intercepted by Narkle. Narkle's handball goes towards Burns, but it's tapped over the line by Crow for a throw-in between wing and half-forward, slightly favouring the St Kilda end of the ground.
There's not many fans left here to witness this game. Guess the majority of them are Footscray supporters. Nice tap down, but Jep couldn't go with it. Lockett now, you know what he's doing, running on the ball or just running all over the place. Oh, doing it nicely is Eccleston. Goes for a run out of defence. He shows pace for a big fellow. Petraglia is there. Oh, Manning into his back, falls over. Petraglia's got plenty of pace. Some nice shepherding will allow Petraglia to try and find Beasley. Nice defensive skills by Gamble then. But players on the other side of the ground, and there's going to be a free kick, I think, going to Manning, who was handled not in the correct manner. And Manning on the outer side of the ground as it gets colder and colder as the sun seeks a refuge behind the clouds, kicks towards Gotch, being one of St Kilda's better players.
Gotch, 17 kicks to Bradley Gotch. Outrove by Petraglia and Royal, particularly around goals. Royal 3 goals and Petraglia 5. Malin gets it towards the centre of the ground. McPherson there, but intercepting is Alistair Ford. Ford gives it to McConville. McConville a little slow. McGuinness puts pressure on him, which is good. And his kick goes wide where Footscray players are everywhere. McLean, who's had a bundle of possessions, ran onto his right foot, kicks it long towards half forward. At the back, Purser.
Hand pass out to Manning. Oh, he just breaks it. Oh, no, he doesn't, from Peter Baxter. David Grant, another fine player for St Kilda. Elphingston, who went missing after the first quarter. Kicks to half forward. Lowe is there for St Kilda. Off hands, Egan. Back towards Callett, but Callett's got plenty of time. No pressure there as Lowe comes at him. And the mark has been taken by Cunningham. It's kick to kick at the moment as Cunningham goes to half forward. That was meant for Gotch. Oh, what awful kicking it is. And, it's a scraggy football. As the ball's pushed wide for Peter-Budge from Cronin. Collins now, as he runs in, has a shot for goal, and he's offline and has put it through for a goal.
92 points the difference. Footscray leading at the 20-minute mark of the last quarter. The game never in doubt after the second quarter, blitzed by the Bulldogs. Kennedy kicks in short and finds Malin. Malin, who's 20 possessions and spent the early part of the game on the bench. The kick goes up towards half forward. McPherson's loose handball can't be controlled by David Grant, and umpire Saville decides on a bounce at the centre wing area for right in front of the Social Club. Persis, tap out. Whitty it is who kicks the ball towards the centre of the ground. McLean is tackled well. It was a beaut tackle by Collins. Footscray get out of trouble. Eccleston, McLean now breaks clear. Jep can see Wallace. Wallace is the Huey Mitchell of the 80s. He seems to be always on his own. Ball goes up to half forward. Petraglia, sloppy handball. Puts Jep under a lot of pressure. Crash to the ground. Grant there for St Kilda. Jep gets back up, tackles Collins. So does McGuinness. Collins, ball goes loose. Play on, says the umpire. And the mark taken out on the centre wing area by Manning for St Kilda.
I thought the game was going to get out of control then a bit. There was some bad umpiring there as Narkle gets it wide to Elphinston. Elphinston now clears it in towards the Lowe. Lowe falls over. The ball comes back towards him, but nice play by Callett. Callett eventually gets clean possession of the football and a hand pass, and away go Footscray out of side of the ground. Number 18 is Manning and number 1 is Purser, and 31 is Ford, but the boundary line too close. And look at the Footscray fans over there. They're loving every minute of this match, and so they should be.
Boundary throw in, right in front of the main scoreboard. Purser gets the tap out, goes to the back of the pack. Wallace there. Through comes Barker. Barker kicks into the centre of the ground. Fickle bounce. Jep punches it down towards half forward. Burns, swivels, swerves, back onto his left foot, kicks it to Narkle. Narkle gets past his opponent, tackled by McGuinness, but rides the tackle well, and then sneaks a little pass out to Collins, who was on his own, slightly wide of centre half forward, and Collins would need a 48, 52-metre kick to goal. You'll be able to see the 50-metre line. He'll be kicking from just inside that. It's a beautiful long kick by Collins, but it's offline and through for a behind to the Saints.
John Collins, 2 behinds in this quarter, if you like a little bit of useless information. And Kennedy done a superb job. Kicks high, looking for Crow. That went off the head of Burns then, and out of bounds. And Burns didn't even flinch. So we've got a throw in right in front of the St Kilda Social Club. Forward and gets the front position, tries to get it to Burns, who miskicked that somehow in his impetuosity, and the ball went over the boundary line for another throw.
Max Crow, Burns takes the crumbs, tries to bustle his way through, and an identical kick goes over the boundary line for another throw in. St Kilda edging the ball forward, but their task is an insurmountable one because at the 23-minute mark they trail miserably, 8-15 to 24-10. Ball in St Kilda's forward pocket. Max Crow and Peter Baxter. Narkle on the bottom of the pack. low for St Kilda, and umpire Rich decides on a bounce. Approaching time on period in the last quarter, and Footscray with a great percentage builder here at Moorabbin. Burns taps on. Barker can't control it. Goes in after it again. Egan gets a quick kick out of the pack for the Bulldogs towards McLean. The only player staying on the ground was McGuinness, but boy did Collins recover well. Cunningham comes through, but a free kick, no. Play on, says the umpire. Puts Cunningham under a lot of pressure because he's a very awkward kick with his left foot. Now his kick has put Frawley under heaps of pressure. Back to Cunningham. He gets past the Kellett tackle. Left foot kick goes into the forward pocket area. A scruffy old handball puts Frawley under heaps of pressure. Ballarat League football, this goes up towards Peter-Budge into Collins, and Collins' left foot kick to the front of the square is marked by Grant. David Grant, he's already kicked 3 goals, a chance to bring up his 4th. St Kilda 8-15-63. They trail by 91 points. Footscray 24-10, 154. 13 possessions for David Grant. He punts for goal. The goal umpire moves over ever so slightly, and it's his 4th goal. David Grant's personal tally 4. St Kilda 9, 15-69, Footscray 24-10, 154.
That's not bad. 4 goals from a tally of 9 for the side, and David Grant has played a lot of football too in defence during this match. That's probably why he kicked the 3 goals in the first part of the game, and then was moved down into defence, and now back up forward and has kicked another goal. So that's 4 to David Grant, whilst Lockett hasn't kicked a goal. Centre bounce, Purser, or is that Crow getting it out? Comes down to Cunningham. No, that's Cunningham. That was Burns getting it out. And Cunningham should get the free kick because Baxter went into his back. Hand pass to Barker. Barker kicks along. Lowe tries to get it one-handed, can't do so. Rance outpoints him, but it was tackled well. Ford gets the hand pass towards Gotch, who was caught napping a little bit, but the little fellow snaps for goal from an almost impossible angle. I think that's about the best he could hope for, out of bounds on the full. As we are now in the time on period, and it's Footscray 24-10, 154, St Kilda 9-15-69. Gotch to Collins. Ford. Oh, players can't get rid of the ball. That was low again. Elphingston's 33. 15 is Collins. Out wide to Frawley. His kick's going to fall short. Kennedy and Lowe having a bit of a wrestle. Peter-Budge, the hand pass to Manning, who's ridden into the ground and will get the free kick. Although the umpire on that occasion said the tackle was too high. That's against Egan, and Egan doesn't like it. You think they're only about 3 points the difference. Egan is remonstrating with umpire Rich. No, that is umpire Saville. I think the free kick was there. It was either in the back or around the neck. So Manning then was about to pass the ball. That'll lead from Gotch, but he's going to go back and have a shot. And well, he might. And he's put it through for a goal. And that's Andrew Manning's first. He started the match on the interchange, has been on and off, and when he has been on, he's been playing around the half-back line. So number 18, Andrew Manning, a goal. And St Kilda 10-15-75, trailing Footscray by a heap. 24-10, 154.
Back in the centre for umpire Rich to start the game again. Bounce favours Burns. He takes the ball out of the air, then feeds the handball out to Collins. Collins runs around the opposition, kicks out to the centre wing on the member side of the ground. Cunningham opposed by Baxter. Baxter's played a good serviceable game for his club, and he rushes the ball over the boundary line. Oh, Cunningham's crashed into him, but Baxter has a smirk on his face. Come on, Joffa, let's get on with the game. 14 goals behind, all bar 5 points of the Saints in what was supposed to be a chance for their first victory for the season. Boy, how far off the mark were the tipsters. Narkle under lots of pressure. Ball goes clear. Egan kicks it long to half forward. And the ball bounces just in front of the boundary line and then goes over for a throw-in between wing and half forward flank now, approaching the Footscray scoring area. And we're 4 minutes into time on. 29 minutes gone in the last quarter. Footscray with the game all sewn up. It was going to be a percentage builder from about half-time after they kicked 9 goals in the second, 8 goals in the second quarter. Loose handball, finds touch, and another throw-in will take place right in front of the Social Club, about 95 metres. There's the siren, and Footscray have won this match. Footscray 24-10, 154, St Kilda 10-15, 75. Police. They won't get out of here alive, will they? Well, the umpire's going off the ground amongst jeering and hooting from St Kilda fans. Oh, I don't think the umpire's made a